Hi, I'm emiko. And this presentation, Moonbeam Anthems, gives you a behind-the-scenes look into creating this series of work, which was originally made for the Celestial exhibition at Facere Jewelry Art Gallery in Seattle, Washington. This talk was originally presented February 8, 2017. So you may be familiar with my Lego jewelry from the various press I've gotten. My big Maharaja's 6th neck piece, which is a reinterpretation of Boucheron necklace, part of the Beyond Bling exhibition, Louis Boardman collection at LACMA. Or perhaps on the cover of Signs of Life, Facere's Jewelry and Literature annual journal that comes out. I was on the cover. My work was on the cover. Or you might have even seen me walking around town as David Bowie, as pictured down here from the Seattle Times, Night of a Thousand Bowies. So when Karen and Maddie of Facere approached me about participating in the Celestial exhibition, this was last April 2016, I was deep into my David Bowie tribute piece and the Black Star collection, and the theme of Celestial made me think, well, this work would be perfect for that. But oh no, I'm already showing it. So variations on a theme is what I went with, being so inspired by David Bowie this last year. When I think of Celestial, what immediately comes to mind is the stillness of the night. This is when I have been known to make a lot of my work. I'm a night owl by design. I blame my mother, so it's in my genetic code, as when I was really little, I'd stay up late watching Johnny Carson with her. But there's also something very invigorating about the nighttime. It's like my caffeine high. Everything's very still and very clear. And every time I go outside to see a full moon, it stops me in my tracks. Takes my breath away and reminds me of how amazing it is to be on this planet. But nighttime also brings to mind being a teenager and those balmy summer nights in Cleveland, because there certainly aren't balmy nights in San Francisco. But when I would sit on the porch that was adjacent to my bedroom, turn on my Discman and listen to my Depeche Mode Violator album. And it's interesting to me how powerful music can be. How you know how you're in a store, you're in the car, and you can just hear a few bars of a song and know exactly what it is. And it brings you right back to that time in your life that you held dear, or a certain memory, event, feeling, even smell and sound, taste. I've been very inspired by music in the last few years. And last year was such a crazy time, 2016, for so many of our cultural icons to pass. And what happens when these cultural icons that have defined our youth leave us? It feels like a star falling. And we take some time to mourn ourselves and mourn our youth and mourn that time. So I wanted to pay tribute to some of these icons in this Moonbeam Anthems series. So you know how when you're working on a problem or project, or there's just a theme that keeps coming up in your life, and then you see it everywhere. This was happening as I was working on the Celestial series. I had friends giving me books, the movies that were around I was seeing, the TV shows, all had this kind of unrequited young love theme. There being this darkness, but hope at the end of the darkness. Not too unlike the political climate that's happening right now. And the visual thing that was going through my head was David Bowie's Black Star, which I said before, I've been obsessed with. These star pins I made for the Society of North American Goldsmiths conference in Asheville last May. And they were a big hit. And I'm not sure if it was because they were black and Lego or star shapes, or if the people who understood it was Bowie, it became even more dear to them because it was Bowie, a symbol. And I found it interesting how similar our music nostalgia and people who have a love for Lego, how similar this tug at the heartstrings is. So to combine the two seems like such a grand idea. Top right here is the back of the eye mask I made for my David Bowie tribute. From his Life on Mars makeup look, the blue eye shadow. And on the back of it, I had stamped a phrase from Heroes. We can be heroes just for one day. We can be us just for one day. And it occurred to me at the Signs of Life show that Facere had, where this piece was shown, this merging of jewelry and literature seemed like a great combination. That people could wear the secret message that only they knew about, and then perhaps they'd share it with someone as a conversation starter. So I really wanted to try this combination of literature and jewelry for this Moonbeam series. So I chose my anthem song by Depeche Mode, Waiting for the Night, for this celestial theme, Moonbeam Anthems. I'm waiting for the night to fall when everything is bearable, and there in the still, all that you feel is tranquility. And from there, I gathered my playlist, because this is how I've been working the last few years, is creating a playlist based on the theme of the work and then listening to it on endless loop so it gets infused in the work. And these songs were chosen because of the themes of them. So they could have night, stars, dreams, also ones that were close to my heart from growing up, or iconic music icons that are also dear to my heart. So with the different songs, I started to pull out lyrics and phrases from the songs and jotting them down and doing these sketches of star fragments based on David Bowie's Black Star fragments. So really 3 shapes that were interlocked in different ways and feeling for what set of lyrics went best with these shapes. One thing I love doing lately is posting my process on Facebook, because it gives my friends and fans a chance to give me feedback. And I had a high school acquaintance who saw that I was calling this Moonbeam Dreams or Moonbeam Anthems, and she said, well, then you must know about Moonbeam Levels by Prince. I was like, what? So I got Prince's Forever album, which was released after his death, kind of the best of hits, plus some songs we had never heard before aired. One of them was Moonbeam Levels. So you'll see that purple in this series is a nod to Prince. These are the backs of the pins in progress. I wanted the backs to be just as precious, if not more precious, than the front. That secret message, secret treasure idea. These are fine silver, laying out how I'm going to cut them out, and then the patterns for how I'm going to stamp the phrases. These are the pins in progress. And the finished pieces, Moonbeam Anthem 1, Bowie. From Space Oddity, the stars look very different today. Moonbeam Anthem 2, Prince. From Moonbeam Levels, please send all your Moonbeam Levels to me. 3, Hedwig. From Hedwig and the Angry Inch Broadway, Midnight Radio. Know in your soul, know that you're whole and you're shining like the brightest star. And yes, Hedwig was not something I grew up with since it's a little more recent. But my niece is very much in love with this soundtrack and this play. And because she's a teenager, every time she hears it, it tugs at her heartstrings. And because this is the theme of the series, I thought this would be a nice addition. Moonbeam Anthem 4, Depeche Mode, from Waiting for the Night. Know, in the glow of the moon, know that my deliverance will come soon. Here's the first 4 pins. And as Moby says, we are all made of stars. Stay tuned for more pins. Thanks.